told her all that was in her heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines. They come back, saying, "Come up once more, for he's told me all that is in his heart." Then the lords of the Philistines came up for her and brought the money in their hands. He loved her, she wanted the money. Think about that relationship. He's the judge of Israel. She made him sleep on her knees, called for a man. It wasn't Delilah who cut his hair. She called for a man who had him shave off the 7 locks of his hair. And then she began to afflict him, and his strength left him. He likes the woman. He likes her. She's unclean. He likes her. He's drawn to that. He loves bringing sin near him and then yielding to it. What does it say in Timothy? Flee, you foul lusts. You can't stand still and flee. You can't have something in your circle that you like deep down here and say I'm fleeing from it by just standing there. You've got to get away. Joseph, when Potiphar's wife said to him, "Lie with me," he was a young buck in his prime, a virgin, pretty, strapping young man, and he had it on a plate and she said, "Lie with me." He was full of all the young things that a man is. You know what he said? And Potiphar was good to him. He said, "How can I do this against my God?" Not Potiphar. Against him. And it said he ran out and left the building. He got out away from her. He didn't just walk in the other room and think about it and go, "She comes me, she did." He got away. Samson gets around him and then gives him the secrets of his heart. And the secrets of his heart will have consequences for the nation. You and your choices, if you choose the wrong ones, are not just your choices. They're choices for the people that watch you, for the ones who watch your testimony, for the ones you're not responsible for their salvation, but you can be a stumbling block. She said to the Philistines, "The Philistines are upon you, Samson." He awoke from his sleep. Look at these words. "I will go out as other times." That was him. Always taking for granted what he had. It's nothing. It's just no sweat at all. "I will go out as other times and shake myself free," but he did not know the Lord had departed from him. Let that one settle on your tongue and have a think about that. No Spirit of the Lord. Nothing special there. The only one thing that separates me and you from anyone else is the Spirit of the living God in us. We are born of the Spirit. Adam and Eve died spiritually in the garden. Jesus went to the cross to bridge that gap, to take us from just flesh and soul, to be led by a Spirit which leads our soul. That is in subjection, that flesh is in subjection to that. We're like a train, flesh at the back, soul in the middle, it's led by the Spirit. You swap them things around, you end up in a right mess. One of them things gets took out. It's destruction. The Philistines seized him and they gouged out his eyes. They brought him down to Gaza, bound him with bronze chains. He was a grinder. We've got the classic 3-pointer there. Our sin binds, grinds, blinds, binds and grinds. Them eyes caused him so much aggravation. It was them eyes that he first saw the young girl. It was them eyes that he saw and then fancied going with the old lovely. It was them eyes. You know, Jesus went to them type of people, didn't he? And told them the way of salvation. Jesus went to them people and told them. He goes there for what? To lay with them. His eyes cause him so much trouble. His eyes are out now. He's a grinder in the prison. He's doing the job of an animal. However, the hair on his head began to grow again after it was shaved off. They're just a bit quick. Who knows what a poster show is? Do you know what a poster show is? Don't you see one of them horrible situations of a little child begging for bread and like, will you give £2 a week? You see it on them signs. The first time you see one, you feel terrible. But you argue yourself up and you get used to it. Because that's how old we can be. I'm not saying you can make a difference in them things, but I choose to believe I can't make a difference. That's why I don't give it. Sorry, I'm wrong. Samson's a poster child of what not to be. He's a wasted life of what could have been so much more. I'm not saying that Delilah is going to be your problem. I'm not saying it. It might be. But Delilah means to bring low. The enemy is not all powerful, but he's a lot powerfuler than me and you without God. Without God, we're no match for him. It's only the one who's in us is greater than the one who's in the world. Yeah? And he has so much resources, he can bring something to bring you low, or whatever that is. He has vast resources. If you're looking for a Delilah and you're a Christian, if you've got a wandering eye, I'll guarantee you he'll bring a Delilah your way. Because he wants to bring you low. He wants to get over you and literally munch you right up and then dash you up and down and then leave you in bits. And it'll all be your own fault. That's his plan for me and you. The lords of the Philistines assembled a great sacrifice to Dagon their God, and to rejoice, for they said, our God has given Samson, our enemy, into our hands. They're giving the glory to Dagon, the fish god. When the people saw that, they praised their God and said, our God has given our enemy into our hands, even the destroyer of our country, who has slain many of us. It so happened that they were in high spirits. They said, call for Samson, that he may amuse us. Do you know one of the things that really sickens me? When I see brothers and sisters that used to work for God, that have backslid through some form of Delilah, something to bring them low, whatever it might be what their problem was, whatever it may be. It might even just be disencouragement. It might just be a row, whatever it may be. It might not be nothing big, but it can lead to something. Then you see them being a party animal for the world. They become a clown for the world. And your heart bleeds for them. You're not sitting there upset about them, but you're sick as a pig for them. Because all they become is a joke for the world. Samson's now the circus clown, when he should have been what he was for the Lord, the judge of Israel. Samson said, it so happened that when they were in high spirits, they said, call for Samson, that he may amuse us. So he called for Samson from the prison, and he entertained them, and they made him stand between the pillars. For some boys, that 1 minute they're in church, next minute they're in the pub. I'm not their judge, but I see them being a clown for the world. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think deep down they don't really want to be that, but that's where they're at, and they choose to be that. It's not what they want. I don't know anyone who got saved that I know, the night they got saved, planning to backslide. You wouldn't have done it, would you? I don't know anyone who called upon the name of the Lord for salvation and at the same time was planning how they're going to backslide. It's just what happens if you don't do what's right. Now the house was full of men and the women, and the lords of the Philistines were there. And about 3,000 men and women were on the roof, looking on while Samson was amusing them. Then Samson called to the Lord. See, what he once didn't value, the gift and calling upon his life that he didn't value, like a lot of people don't value what's upon their life. They just play loose. He's now got value to him. Because he hasn't got it. He can't see with his eyes physically, but he's seeing more than he ever could with his eyes spiritually now. Remember what blind Bartimaeus said when he called upon the Lord? The Pharisees were saying, shut up. Blind Bartimaeus saw more of his blindness than they ever saw with their eyes. Samson's seeing 20/20 now. He said, he called to the Lord, Yahweh. Notice the tetragrammaton there, the capitals. And said, O Adonai, Elohim. The three biggest things God's called in the Bible. YHVH, YHWH, Adonai, Elohim. In the beginning God, in the beginning Elohim. Bereshit Baroth Elohim. He's calling upon what? What am I trying to tell you? He's calling upon the Lord with everything he knows God by. He's in prayer now. But look at the circle he's had to go in to get in this time of prayer. Please don't have to get there to get in the time of prayer. Please don't have to get to that point in your life till you really realise what you had. Romans 16 verse 19. For the report of your obedience, Paul said, has reached to us all, therefore I am rejoicing over you. But I want you to be wise in what is good and innocent in what is evil. I want you to be wise, to be knowledgeable in what is good. But I want you to be stupid. I want you to be thick in what is evil. You don't have to do what God said is wrong to look at God and say, you really are right. God wants you to be ignorant to that because it's better for you. Samson grasped the two middle pillars on the house that the house rested on, braced himself against them. With one hand on one and with one on the left, Samson said, let me die with the Philistines. He bent with all of his might. The house fell on the lords and all the people who were in it. So the dead whom he killed at his death were more than those whom he killed in his life. Then his brothers and all his father's household came down, took him, brought him up, buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol, in the tomb of Manoah his father. He judged Israel 20 years. Let me tell you something. He's in Hebrews 11. He's in the Hall of Faith. He's in the Hall of Faith. He's in heaven. He's saved. Romans 15 verse 4 says, learn from Israel's mistakes. It says that through perseverance, all what was written in times past, this stuff was written for our understanding. So that through this we can learn not to do the things they did. Who's pleased that the Lord is finished writing his scriptures? Put it another way. How would you like your life? Your life, my life, recorded down here for someone else to learn about. Who'd be happy with that? I wouldn't. I'm pleased the Lord's finished writing his scriptures. But remember the most important thing about all I've said. When Samson called again, our God is a God of second, of third, of fourth, of fifth chances. He lost it all. Then he found his repentance. You know where he found his repentance? When he was doing the job at the grindstone. When he was doing his job of an animal. Have you got to get to that place, or have I got to get to that place until the light really comes on in my life? Sadly, for a lot of us, it'll take that to get us right. There ain't too many shortcuts in the things of God, but I'll tell you what there is. There's certainly ways that you can delay. So I've done it in my own life. God's timing's perfect, but I've brought myself into situations I knew God wouldn't want me in. And all it does is just causes a delay until you really realise what's going on. He's a God of second, of third, of fourth, of fifth. He never got his flesh under control. He left so many doors open, it was so easy for him to get fitted up. If we want to leave doors open of weakness, you're up for an item. Your testimony's got to be ruined. And those that are watching you are going to make their decisions. And the enemy's got to use that to build a case against everything. God can still save. He's still sovereign. We can cause ourselves to be serious stumbling blocks. The biggest majority of my family is not saved. They watch every move I make.